The guests on today's show say that despite all of the wrongs, so many wrongs in their family, they say they know that deep down inside there is something somewhere right. And if there's one thing they all agree on, why, it's that family is something that's worth fighting for. The families you're going to meet on today's show can't seem to communicate on their own turf, so they decided to pick up the phone and call Rolonda and decided to come out here and see if maybe they could sit on this stage at neutral territory and try to work things out. Like Lisa and Randy here, a couple who say they've not spoken to Lisa's mom in nearly a year after Lisa claims her mom tried to beat them up and then send them both off to jail. And the big fight is all over this. A trailer in Mount Perry, Ohio that Lisa and Randy live in that was provided by Lisa's mother. A trailer is breaking up your family, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you explain that a bit? What's going on?
Well, it's not actually the trailer. It's from where her youngest brother, Dustin, kept breaking in, taking our food. You know, we had wedding presents, taking them.
So you guys live in the trailer.
We used to.
You used to,
right.
And that's a trailer Lisa's mom provided.
Yeah.
Right.
So how did this trailer, and Dustin is your little brother.
Yes.
And he was breaking into the trailer when y'all weren't home, taking your food and stuff.
Right.
So is that what caused the fight to break up your whole family? The fact that you haven't talked to your mom in a year?
The fight is from us calling the law on Dustin, because he used to do it all the time. We warned him. Next time it happened, we'd call the law on him, have him arrested. He did it. We confronted him about it. He confessed, so we called the sheriff's department on him. Her mom found out. She went irate. She was at work at the time when she found out. She came down, walked right on in the trailer, started breaking things up, pulling phones out of the wall, cussing, calling us names. She tried her best to get us to hit her first. But we ignored her. She said she wanted us out, so we started packing.
She decided to walk up and hit Randy.
Your mom hit Randy?
She walked up and smacked Randy to see if he would hit her back, and I decided to shove her and everything, and then I was 6 months pregnant, and she decided that she was going to hit me, so she started punching me in the stomach and everything.
Your mom was punching you in the stomach, 6 months pregnant?
Yeah, I ended up with a lot of bruises and everything, and I was just protecting myself, but no one understood it. I just fighting back and everything, and we were packing and everything. She just kept hitting.
So you haven't talked to your mom in almost a year. I take it your mom's never seen her grandchild.
No, she hasn't.
We won't allow her to see the grandchild due to the fact she called him a bastard.
What is this doing to y'all? Y'all are married, you're starting your own family, and this is the family, Randy, that your wife has come from. What is this doing to you as a new family?
As a new family, I think it put me and Lisa stronger, because we've been through a lot. Matter of fact, when we were arrested, I was in the process of getting back in the service. It ended when I got arrested.
So I'm hearing now that Mom put both of y'all under arrest and had you thrown in jail.
Yes.
Right.
My goodness, all this in one day?
One day. Actually, it occurred within an hour and a half.
I'd like to hear the mother's side of this story. You know, they always say there are two sides to a story. His side, her side, and somewhere in the middle there's the truth. I'm not quite sure. Debbie and Dusty's side of the story is what we're about to hear now. Debbie and Dusty, come on out. Dusty is your little brother, right, Lisa?
Yes.
Debbie, I was talking to you backstage, and you were saying, well, just go on and share with everyone what we were talking about, and what brings you here today.
Well, Randy's the one that I guess contacted you guys, but this story is really, don't get it.
Don't lie, Debbie.
Don't lie. Let's start at the beginning here, Randy.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, she was 17.
Right.
You were 30. You
No,
were
I was
married.
29.
You
Who
were
came
married.
to you and asked you?
You had 4 kids.
That's right.
You were
divorced.
No, you didn't get divorced your divorce was in the paper the same day you got married.
So
Not
you
the
left
same day.
And
Who wrote you a letter, Debbie, asking your permission?
who wrote me a letter and sat there and said, oh, Deb, I'm not having sex with her. We're just living together.
No, I did not say we were living together.
I promised you that she would get her high school diploma. Did she? No, the minute she moved in with you, she quit school.
Not
So what I'm hearing is that this has a lot more to do with that one day, that hour and a half in that
Oh,
trailer.
you're not, yes, that's
This is
true.
going back years. What is the problem?
No, it's not.
When did everything start? I take it you just don't like Randy.
No, I liked Randy. I accepted the fact Lisa loved him, because she says she does. And I said, I'm not going to try to tell her who she can love and who she can't. And so when I went to Florida in September, she moved out with me.
No. You helped move her into my house.
You enrolled me, and you let me move in with him. You enrolled me into school. You knew it. Then
And you found custody over to her grandma.
I come back from Florida, and they can contact your grandmother. Your grandmother knows that when she come home on Sunday, your stuff was gone. I'm sorry, Lisa.
Right.
You signed a letter to Grandma signing custody over to her.
Dusty, is that the way when they're up there arguing at home that you just sit there? What do you think about what's going on?
Well, everything that's going on, I don't know, it's like wrong.
Just like with the trailer, that was my trailer. I'm living with somebody else at the time, and I told them before they moved in, I give them the money to move in. I paid for their wedding in February. In March, they needed a place to live. Neither one of them was working. I told them that.
Randy had a heart attack.
I had 2 heart attacks in March.
Whoa,
they
whoa,
weren't heart
whoa,
attacks.
whoa, wait,
Oh, yes,
wait.
they were.
No, they weren't.
How much you want to bet?
Y'all, let's take a break and regroup for a minute, because this story has just bounced all over the place. But, oftentimes, though, when we're fighting with our family, I know when I get off in a big argument with my family, it has nothing to do with really what we're fighting about. It has to do with all those things that happened years ago, things you never forgive people for, things that come back to haunt you, stuff you say that pushed a button. I think there's a lot more to this, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to talk with this family and more families saying, my family is fighting for its future. Wondering what the future might be for this family. Lisa and Randy are coming to us, a couple who has had a baby that their grandma hasn't seen. Dusty and Debbie. Dusty is Lisa's younger brother, and Debbie is mom. Before we started, I mean, there's a lot going on here. We started off talking about an hour and a half of a fight in a trailer, and then we end up talking about people thrown in jail and 2 heart attacks and whatever happened years ago. What are y'all really fighting about?
Well, see, I give them a home. I let them move in my trailer, and I told them before they moved in, I'm going to come and go as I want. My stuff is here. The trailer's in my name. The land's in my name.
Yeah, you can come and go, but you can't come and go and take our stuff when you go.
And the utilities are in my name. I was buying their groceries. I was giving them gas money there for a while to look for a job.
Okay, and therefore, since you provided all that, what?
I come over and they padlock the house.
That's right. We got tired of Dusty breaking in, taking our food.
That's our home.
It is not your home. You didn't live there.
I figured that when our stuff is there.
No,
I put him
you
through
were
the
living in
window for
Junction
a
City
reason.
with number 9 of your man.
Ooh. Try about number 13 and you'd be right. But what's that got to do with what's going on?
Because you did not live there.
Debbie, Dusty, were you really breaking into the house?
No, they padlocked
he
their
was.
door.
There is police reports.
We got...
Wait, I want to hear Dusty. Dusty, this all started, they say, because you kept breaking in the trailer. Now, were you breaking in the house?
No, they padlocked the door, and I wanted to get my stuff out because I went to go camping.
Yeah,
So I put
our
it
wedding
right to the
presents
window.
and everything, our radio,
You took
our
our
TV.
wedding blankets, our TV, our stereo and stuff.
No.
Oh,
Now, where's this coming from? The police report that I got said that there was a candle going of yours.
No.
So then they called the police. The police contacted me because he's a minor. They said that Mr. and Mrs. Nice was going to have him arrested for breaking and entering. And I said, wait a minute, that's his sister and his brother-in-law. And the police officer's going, what? Had no idea.
Oh, yes, he did. That deputy that showed up, you and him are friends. You belong to the same damn club together.
So why?
Yeah, I found out, Debbie.
So Debbie, answer this for people who don't quite understand. If he was breaking in the house, what was wrong with a phone call? Can I come over and get my stuff?
I called on my answering machine, and I said, we want in the trailer to get some of our stuff. Everything I own is in that trailer.
Okay, so
everything.
So Lisa and Randy, what's the problem with them going to get his camp gear out of your house?
She didn't have nothing there.
They didn't take nothing.
I mean, she had stuff stored there like videotapes, some old junky furniture.
My furniture.
You know.
Debbie, do you kind of take the position, as some mothers do, I'm not saying it's you, but some mothers, you know, take the position that if I provide you the house and I pay the bill and I do that, I can come and go and do whatever I want in my house. Is that maybe the position that you're taking?
No, it was my house, and I told them, if I want to come spend the night some night, I'm going to. It's my house.
No, you did not.
Know, and they
you even tried to have somebody else move in with us.
Anybody else?
No, I never.
Yes, you did.
So Debbie, is it true that this got into a physical altercation, that you were punching Lisa in the stomach?
No,
and
I
she's
never
6 months
touched my
pregnant?
daughter.
Yes,
How she
you
can sit here
did.
and lie like this is beyond me.
Yes, you did.
I never touched you. I was on the floor. You was beating me in the head. He was there, and I had my hands like this. And I told you then. And if I hit her so, like she says I did, why didn't the officers do anything to me?
Because we weren't allowed. They was all your friends because they all lived in Junction City.
From the audience.
Well, I feel that if you want to give a person your house and they paying the rent and the bill, it is their house.
Okay,
I was paying the rent and
we
bill. I
weren't
was
paying
paying
nothing.
everything.
The deal was, if we moved
fixed
in the
the
trailer,
house up, she
we
would
fixed
pay
the
it.
trailer up. When we moved
we
in,
fixed
it
it
took
up.
us 3 days
Fixed it
to
up?
make it livable. There was
Okay,
no running
you know what
water.
sounds like to me?
That's because everything was unhooked because I
No, it
wasn't
was not
willing.
unhooked.
It sounds like y'all didn't set rules to this game when you started off.
I did. They didn't listen to my rules.
Now, you're the type of person, Debbie,
What do
if
you-
somebody don't kiss your butt and do what you want, then it ain't fine.
I feel that,
You
Randy.
feel
Oh,
that
how
you
do
can
I
let them
feel?
live in your house that you gave them, so you got the right
I
to
never
come back
give them.
anytime you want.
No, when they moved into the trailer, they needed a place, and I said, I'm going to come and go as I please. If you've got a problem with that, don't move in now.
No.
That doesn't. It sounds like a breakdown. From what I hear you saying, that you think that there's a breakdown of respect issues
There
here.
is a definite breakdown, and how she can sit here and say I touched her. I've never
Yes,
laid a
you
hand on my
did.
Hey,
kid.
Debbie, how many times have you lied
Never.
to the law
Squad
when
asked
Dusty
me,
has gotten into
That
trouble?
squad asked me if I had to go to the hospital because my bruises and they thought my hand was broken. I said no, not if I was going to the squad with you.
All right. So what are we going to do
Now
about
we're
this,
sitting here.
folks?
How
Are
many
y'all
times
going to
you
sit up
lied
here
to
and
the
bicker
police,
again?
Debbie?
I mean, where are we going to go with this?
That's what I was
Well, she's
wondering
a
when they
liar. I
called.
Randy, what do you hope to see that comes out
How
of
can
this
you
hour?
sit there and say I'm a liar?
We've got
to make
police
up.
reports that every time
Bring your
Dusty
police
got
report. Bring
in
your
trouble,
doctor report
you'd
that
give
you
them
had
a different
heart attack.
address.
That I want to see, the heart attack. This is,
Fine.
I would really like to see this.
If y'all now listen,
I really would.
Has anybody
Every time you get a job,
Has
you've got
anybody
a heart
noticed
attack.
how Dusty is
Every
sitting
time
there?
you have to support for your family, you have a heart attack.
Dusty has said a
You
word.
say, yeah, who's been supporting my family? I have.
I think the welfare is
Oh,
part
I'm
of the
afraid
job.
not.
We'll be
We don't
right
get
back
nothing from
in a
the
minute.
welfare.
We'll be right back.
Not right now, you don't.
We have it.
Sorry.
You fine ass bitch.
I asked the question before, where were you guys going to go with this? This is a dispute that keeps going round and round, so many issues at this point.
Until she admits she's wrong, she's lied to the police and everybody else.
No, but you're not answering my question. My
We was
question
willing to
is,
make up, but see, she's unwilling to admit that she's lied.
I have not
So
lied.
as far as I'm concerned,
I can sit here and
she doesn't exist.
do you
no
need
more.
an admittance
no,
of
I
a lie to
We
make
was willing
up?
to make up. All I wanted was an apology
Then
from
why
her.
couldn't you call it home?
Because there was a restraining order until November. Somehow it got dropped. I thought there was still one. No one told me.
Who pressed the restraining order? Not me.
It was against us.
You know,
Jesus.
part of the other observation one of the other observations that some of us were making during the commercial is we were watching the three of you go at it. And I kept looking at Dusty over here, 14 years old. And while he doesn't say anything, he's still absorbing all of this tension and stuff, and I'm concerned about a 14-year-old. Well, that may be so true. That may be. I don't know. But I'm just saying that my concern for a 14-year-old is watching a family fighting like this and growing up thinking that's the way family's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my concern.
And then there's this little grandson.
Before he even came in, me and him grew like that up anyway because all of her ex-husbands, everything, the way him and her fought all the time. That's what we put up with.
So this is the way you think family's supposed to be?
No, her and I ain't like that at all.
Me and him, and he don't touch me, I don't touch
The
him.
police was called for her. She left. And
We
he
had
called-
an argument.
They-
Okay?
Yeah, we had an
I
argument.
left.
And the baby was
You'll
gone.
stand
But anyway, the thing that should come out of this is that little grandson.
You ain't seen him.
I have a granddaughter who's 2, Tiffany. And she's the apple of my eye. And she knows who her grandmother is.
Well, he's never going to know who his grandmother is. Sorry.
And you were never raised that way. Never raised that
well.
way. Never.
You didn't raise him at
You're
all,
never
Debbie.
gonna
You'd
see
leave him
now.
home till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning while you were out
Excuse me?
bar jumping.
No, I worked.
Right, right.
Oh, yeah.
Let me-
I worked as a bartender.
And you'd come home plastered.
You know, it's one thing if we make an observation. This is Dr. Jean Carrillo. She's a clinical psychologist. And I'm just going to let you be the professional here and tell me what in the world. If this family came to your office and they came to your office the way they came to the show, claiming that they wanted to pull it together and fight for their family. I see them fighting, but I don't see them fighting for family. And
Yeah, they need some boundaries. You should have set limits before you moved in. You two should be out on your own. Adult children should not still be living with the
Well, that's why it was supposed to have been
parents.
at the trailer. She said she
No.
would come around to visit. We'd
Randy,
we'd
you're
take care of the
sitting
property.
there.
But it doesn't sound like you were clear on the rules to begin with. I mean, was part of the deal was that I'm going to give you the trailer, you fix it up, but I can
never
come
said
in
I
and
was
go if
going to
I
live in
want.
the trailer.
No,
The
that was
trailer
not
is
the
mine.
deal. No.
No, the trailer was mine. I've worked hard for it. It's not much, but it's mine.
So you feel you can go in and out anytime you want?
That's right. And I told them that.
No.
And
No,
they
you
really
did
Can't
not.
do that. You should have the same agreement
not
as a
right.
landlord would have. Where would you like to take it
My
from
stuff
here?
is there.
Okay. You want to
So
get your
was
stuff? Are
ours.
you two ready to be out on your own?
We are out on our own. We've been out on our own since
working.
last year.
So you're not living together anymore?
No.
You should
No.
get together.
She hasn't. We haven't seen her. This is the first time we've seen her in almost a year.
Good, you should be visiting. It's a different relationship now.
She-
Even
you know.
if you two didn't get along when you were a child, now
Who?
you have to relate as
Her and I,
adults.
we had a good
No, we
No,
relationship.
you did
didn't.
not.
And she's sitting
she
here saying no, and
disagrees.
he's sitting there saying
She
no.
came
You
over to
can
the
talk
restaurant we worked
anybody,
at and caused
in the
problems with her.
family. I mean, my whole family can sit there and tell you what
Now
I
you're
did to
getting me
raise this
confused
girl.
with my
All right, well,
sister.
her husband comes first now.
Yeah,
Randy is
I
in her
agree
life
with that. That's
now.
why I've stood back.
However, your
Right.
mom will always be in your life.
Nuh-uh.
What do you want to say to her? You have to be prepared to forgive her.
Nope.
Because you'll
I
always
was,
be
but
mother
I'm
and
not
daughter.
now.
What
So
would
y'all
you
have just
need?
blown the whole preface of my show.
That's right.
Sorry.
You know, no, I'm serious. I really mean that.
you know-
Here I'm trying to make a difference in talk shows. I'm trying to have people, if you're going to come on here and you're going to fight, then doggone it, be fighting for something important, like
I want to
family.
fight for that grandson.
You
I
know?
wanna fight for that
No, wait a minute. I'm going to say this. Let me tell you, Randy, there are a whole bunch of other shows you can go on and scream and yell with no resolution, but not this one, okay?
What do you want mom to do? What could mom do to make things better?
Well, I wanted her to apologize.
For what? I
Are
didn't
you
do
prepared to
anything.
apologize
Yes,
for your
I
part
was.
of it?
I was until she came out and started this, and now I'm not. I don't want to. I've been through enough.
You seem very
And I
hurt.
haven't. You get to grow up with that little baby and see him every day.
It's
what
her
do I get
child.
to? I don't. I get pictures.
Oh, Whippo!
Debbie,
You didn't
why don't
even
you- why don't you-
tried to come and see him.
Oh,
Debbie.
yes, I have.
No,
I
you
have,
have not.
You love your grandchild, don't you?
I send that grandbaby presents that
No,
you don't
you
know.
don't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Who do
no,
you
you
think
don't.
grandmother,
Thank you,
the
Jean.
gifts grandmother gives you and Chrissy gives you? They're from me. Ask them.
No, you ask Chrissy. They go back to Chrissy because I know.
I
know
bought
what?
them. I bought them.
Just like the $10 Grandma tried to give me, I gave it back because I knew it
And
came
the
from you.
$20 that you got before was from me.
Lisa,
Yeah, no,
It was
Lisa,
from me.
Lisa, what's breaking your heart right now?
Her.
Why? Tell me what it is
Tell
that.
me why.
Wait, just let her speak, please, because oftentimes we don't listen to each other when we're in situations like this. And this is an opportunity. I promised your family, I promised you guys, I was going to give you a place that was safe for you to talk quietly to each other and try to find some resolution. I'm not going to break my promise to you. You break your promise to each other, that's on you. But on my show, I promised you peace. So can you tell me, Lisa, what is hurting you? What is breaking your heart? Where do the tears come from? Because it's not just anger there, darling.
I can't.
Take your time. It's okay to cry. I promise you, you'll feel a lot better once you find out what's hurting you. Sometimes we have to hear what that voice inside us is saying. Sometimes we're so mad we don't know what hurt us to begin with.
Those last couple of years I lived with you, you never gave me a hug. You never said I love you. You was cutting me down and everything. You know how long it's been?
Lisa, how can you say that?
Why don't you wait? Don't disagree with her. You can't disagree with the way she feels. She feels hurt. Let her finish. Let her finish. Have you ever heard her say that? She might have a lot more to say.
The last 2 years before she was gone, though, I worked extra so she could take the trip to Washington, D.C. I worked extra to get the extra prom dress she wanted and stuff. I always
But you know something?
did
The prom dress is not a hug.
I hugged her. I was there for Lisa. I've always been there for Lisa.
No, you wasn't.
Lisa's been there for me. I went through a nasty, terrible separation divorce, and Lisa was there.
You're not divorced.
Lady over here is shaking her head.
See,
what are you shaking your head for?
Because I think she does need to give her mom a hug. If it wasn't for her mom, she wouldn't be here now.
This is another mother with another problem, with another daughter, right after another commercial.
Yeah, you're right. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be here now.
Pass off what? To resolve things. You know, this man brings up a good point. You know, whenever you're fighting with your folks, there's always somebody. Come on and stand up. Just tell what we were just talking about. What'd you just say?
I said if either, one of the two people up here, something would ever happen to them, they would die or something like that, you'd probably be living in misery for the rest of your lives,
Amen.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, but how can you stand there and say that she loves her daughter when she has her thrown in jail, beats her in the stomach when she's 6 months pregnant?
I never touched her.
Yes, you did.
No, I never touched you, Lisa.
Yes, you did.
How
we went to a lawyer, and the lawyer saw the bruises.
Then why didn't you do something about it?
Because we couldn't
touched
afford
you, why
the
didn't
lawyer.
you do it?
We couldn't afford the
Lisa,
lawyer.
I never laid a hand on you.
Okay,
I should have years ago.
All right, let's start. Even the man down here said, let's start all over.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't start the show over. Unfortunately, we can't start the show over, but they can start their lives over. They may decide after the show. That's on them. My next guest says that she disagrees with the way her daughter's raising her grandkids. Lois accuses her daughter of neglecting her children. Lois, what do you mean by that? I mean, how is your daughter neglecting them?
Well, right now, she's living with me in my home. She has a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old. And I'm raising her 5-year-old that I've had custody of since he was 6 months old. While she's living with me, I have to tell her to bathe her children. 5-month-old baby, curdled milk all over its head. I have to bathe the child.
Why isn't your, I mean, that just
She's
seems...
lazy. She's lazy.
Is that the
Okay?
only reason?
That she's a child in a woman's body. She really is. She has not grown up. I do not know why. She should have. She's had 3 children.
Where's
now,
the father of the kids?
Each one's got a different father. Her philosophy is she is not going to get herself fixed or be on the pill or anything until she finds the right man. She has said that straight out to us. So here I get all these grandbabies, which I'm willing right now to take the 2 more of them.
So that's your whole position. You don't think that you have 1 grandchild?
I've got 2 that I'm raising.
Okay, 1 from each of your daughters. You have 2 daughters.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the deal with the other daughter?
The other daughter, she's had her problems like this one, but lately here she's gotten on her feet. She's got herself a steady guy. You know, I don't know really what the relationship is, but she's trying. She really is. There's been times that I've gotten on her really bad. You know, I've got her little girl. Her little girl was 2 months old when I got her, and I've got legal custody of her, and now she's 7.
What in the world is going on?
I really don't know. I think the girls, both of them, they get money for these children, right?
Welfare?
Welfare, and one gets money.
So these are our children too?
Yeah, and my children, because I work to support them too. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So we're all, folks, raising these children.
Yes.
That puts a whole new spin on things, doesn't it?
You know, Rolonda, if neither one of these girls got the assistance for these children that they're getting, whether it be the survivor's benefit that the one gets for her children, and this one here getting what she gets for the 2, those girls wouldn't have nothing. Absolutely nothing. They would have no income, no money, no nothing.
So now, you want to take all the children?
Oh, I would. In a heartbeat. I would do it. Because I know they would have a home. And it's not for the money. My husband makes good money. You know, we survive. I've got a family. I'm raising 2 grandchildren.
Well, what do you think about raising another family now that you've already raised a family?
Rolonda, I really, it's hard. I don't want to, but I'm the grandmother.
You know something, you're not by yourself. Have y'all noticed that grandmothers are raising this nation? Grandmothers are raising this nation. God bless you, grandparents. Listen to this. According to the Census Bureau, there are about 4.7 million children in the United States being raised by their grandparents. 4.7 million children being raised by Where are the parents?
They don't care. It's the money for my daughter, my youngest daughter that's living with me. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, let's meet Christine and find out. Maybe we'll get some answers from her. Christine, come join us. Christine, we're going to talk with you when we come back. And I'm going to tell you, Christine, people may not be very easy on you because now we're all fighting for our children now, and we want to know why you're not there for them, according to your mother. I'll let you talk about that right after this, okay? Disturbing story, another really disturbing story of a family going through some difficulty. We've been talking here with Lois, who is a grandmother. She is the mother of Christine here. Christine, your mom says that you're neglecting your kids, that your kids are not bathed properly, that they're not being cared for. She's so concerned about your being an unfit mother, according to her, that she wants to take your kids from you. She already has one, and she wants the other 2. That's not a good picture of you as a mom. How do you defend that?
I try my best, you know, a single mother being 23, you know.
Why are you single and why are you still having children?
I'm not having no more children.
Oh, wait a minute.
I can have doctor proof. I'm on Depo-Vero right now.
All right, then why are you telling people that you're pregnant by this guy Todd in the Navy?
No, we thought I was.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't find that very responsible behavior, Christine. I would be ashamed to have my mother have to come and take my children under these circumstances. I would be ashamed to have people say, I'm raising your children. I mean, I don't mean to be hard on you, but it just marvels me when I see mothers not fighting for the best for their children. And maybe there's something you can say that's going to help us understand that.
I don't know what else to say. I've tried. I do my best. And I don't know.
Why did you, and I'm going to ask you this because, you know, I'm 36 and I've waited a long time before I decided to have a child. Because I know that even though I might have a job and I have a house and all that stuff, I may not be prepared to raise a child yet. And those are tough decisions for a woman to make. So help me understand, woman to woman, how you make a decision with not much to lean on to have 3 children. They're not being cared for. Help me understand that.
I've tried to take care of them. I've always have.
Rolonda, she works. I told her, okay, she got thrown out of the last place she was living a month ago, the 1st of March. She called me, Mom, I need a place to stay for 3 hours with the kids and all my stuff. Can I put my stuff in your garage? Oh, I knew something else was up. 3 hours came 5 hours. 5 hours were like, oh, my friend's getting a trailer and we're moving into somewhere else. And oh no, they didn't get that one. We're checking on an apartment.
So what happened?
They're living with me. All right? I told her. I said, you've got 30 days to get off your butt, get a job, get yourself an apartment.
And if she doesn't?
Then I'm going to take her kids away from her.
Are you going to let your mom take your kids?
No.
How are you going to defend yourself in court?
I have a place to stay.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about your kids. Let me tell you what your mom can do. She can get custody of your child. All she has to do is hire an attorney and file a custody petition with the court, which means that you're going to have to go in and defend yourself. And if you can't do it here with these folks, I don't know what you're going to say in court.
I don't even need an attorney. They know me so well in juvenile court because they've tried to take the kids away. No lie. No, Rolonda. She has tried to take the children away from me just to be mean to me. Oh, I'm going to take them away from you. Well, go ahead.
What are the kids going through with all this? Don't they ever say...
Her little boy, Joey, that I'm raising, they're a mess. I just got married in December. My husband is here. So we're just starting out, too, on our own. You know, work has been slow because of the weather. He does outside construction. Between little Joey and my other granddaughter, which is my other daughter's first child, they don't even want to be home anymore. They're arguing back with us, sassing back, talking back. She's sleeping in her little boy's room in his bunk bed that these children couldn't wait until mom and dad got married and got their own bedrooms. Now the boy's got his own bedroom and his mother and his sister are sleeping there in a crib on the side of the bed. Soiled milk all over the floor.
There was something when we were doing research on your story that really bothered me. And according to what we understand, Christine sold her child?
Yes, she did. That's how I got custody. That is how I got custody of Joey.
Sold the child for how much?
$25.
$25. And what can you, Christine, you gotta help us understand this, honey. And you gotta help. And let me tell you why I'm gonna be kind of tough on you, because if our tax dollars are going to help raise your children and give them an opportunity, you owe us an explanation for that.
That's not true. I did not sell him. For a family friend that took him for the evening, I ran out of formula and stuff. She said she'd take him overnight till I was able to get to WIC and get everything settled.
No, you wanted to borrow money from them.
Yeah, I wanted to borrow it to get the formula, and they said, no, I'd rather take them and get the stuff and keep them overnight until you were able to get it.
You said, how about if I give you Joey, will you give me money? And they gave me $25, and they kept Joey, and Joey ended up in the emergency room that night and couldn't breathe, and I got custody that night because they served you with a warrant that night.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did, because you threatened to kill yourself in the middle of the night. Yes,
I just want to know what you will tell little Joey one day. Joey is now 5 years old, and 5-year-olds are very astute these days. And plus, this what you came on this talk show, this is history now. When he's 10 years old and he goes and puts a little tape into the VCR and sees Mama sold me, how do you explain something like that? As if there was not already enough pressure on Lois to raise her grandson, Joey, she's doing double duty, also raising a granddaughter of another daughter, Patty. Patty, come on out. We'll talk to you right after this commercial, honey. Come on out. Come on. Lois's other daughter, who also has a child who her mom is raising. Patty, just hold on one second. This lady had quite a comment during the commercial. What do you want to say?
Okay, you sit here and say you tried your best for your you've tried your best for your children. But if you tried your best with one child, how come you went back and had 2 more? Once you try and you see you can't do it, then don't do it again.
Yes.
If it's hard with 1, it's going to be harder with 3.
Christine, have you ever had any like therapy or gone to talk with anybody? Do you think you need to do that?
Yeah, I'll admit it. I do need therapy. I mean, when I was growing up, we didn't have the best of life.
No, they didn't.
When I've lived with, you know, I've stayed mostly with my grandfather. That's who I always wanted to be with.
But your grandfather lived with all of us.
Not when he had his own room and house and stuff. I rather stayed with him than you.
Well, yeah, you did, but we still all were together.
Patty, what's going on in your family?
It's so complicated. Chrissy, I love you, but you need to grow up. It took me a long time to get where I am, and I had to come by it the hard way. And I love you, and I love my mother, and I love your kids with all my heart. But if you can't take care of them, then give them to somebody who can. You can give them to me. I'll raise them, and I don't have to live on welfare to do it. All right.
Did you have any idea that your mom and your sister felt this strongly about it?
No.
Did you have you never?
Well, her, yeah, but I don't know about my sister.
Did you never heard your sister care this much for you and your kids?
Yeah, I knew she cared. Just like I care about her children. You know, her children. When not too long ago, you know, always had headlights. She claims the day before they left.
Why did they have headlights? Because of the people you were living with, and your daughter got them and gave them to my kids.
And wait, you want to go on?
And I didn't complain or
Patty,
nothing about it.
Patty,
did
Rolonda, her daughter right now, she's 2.5. She's going to be 3 years old in May. She's got a double ear infection to this day. This girl has not fill that baby's prescription, okay? Because she's lazy. We've been to the pharmacy. We've been to the pharmacy. It's free. She's lazy. Now she's lost it. Now she's lost it.
Off the kitchen counter.
She's lost
that. Take her back to the hospital and get another thing for the medicine.
You know, I think it's so ironic. The shirt you're wearing. The shirt you're wearing says, "I'm not listening." Is there a reason you wore that shirt today? Did you know that you wore that shirt today?
Huh?
Did you know you wore that shirt today?
They said wear bright colors, so I wore bright color. That's the only bright colored shirt I had.
Rolonda, she doesn't have any clothes.
I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a little weird, but I pay attention to things like that. I think that sometimes your subconscious screams a lot louder than your mouth could ever think about.
I was wondering, how old were you when you had your first kid?
I was 17, just turned 18.
Mm-hmm. I would like to know, there's so many child care agencies out there. Why can't you go ask for help? And also, you seem to have such a bad attitude. Nobody's here to hurt you. We're only trying to get you to see that the way that you're raising your kids are not the right way.
You know, the reason we say that, too, is because if you don't care for your kids, they come to us uncared for. And that's not going to help our villages. You know, as we often say, that African proverb, that it takes an entire village to raise a good child. A good child. A good child.
You say you didn't have a good life growing up. You're giving your children the same life unless you get some help and change your behavior.
Lois's husband, and he says that Christine is causing major problems with his new marriage. He's only been married to Lois for 3 months. Jeff, I can imagine this is tough. And God, man, you're crying too, man. I know it's tough. Well, tell me what you're feeling.
I'm 34 years old and never had a child like you. And I see the abuse and the hell.
Mm-hmm.
She's in my home. I see it. I love children.
I do too.
But I never wanted it. I never could afford it.
Yeah.
I never went for that.
Mm-hmm.
And here I sit in a situation. I married her. I have these two. I love them. I can take care of them. I yell at them. Who don't yell at their children? But God, I mean, I play baseball with the boy. I play sports with him. But I heard the other day she don't want me raising her children because you don't like me. I yell at them. You have put me through hell since you've been in my home. How do you even know? What does your son does not have that a lot of children have? I put him in a $200,000 home on the water for his own bedroom.
And that's his grandson. And you move around.
And this is a child that ain't mine. This is a child that I married into.
We'll be right back in a minute. I appreciate so much what Jeff said. And I appreciate, Jeff, that you and I, as a man and a woman, can relate, especially being in our 30s, making decisions not to have had children up to this time. You know, it hurts us for those who've been blessed with 3 not to be taking care of them. And I appreciate how we made a connection, man and woman, based upon children together. I appreciate that. Christine, my heart my heart's very heavy right now for you. I hurt for you too. What is there something anyone can do? Is there anything that you need to say?
I just need to tell them, you know, they don't have the best of life. I don't have the best of life. So let them lead their life and I'll lead mine.
But I can take care of your children better than you can take care of them right now, Chrissy. And you know that because you have to be out of my house here in a couple days. What? You have no money. You have your ADC check coming and your support check from your 2.5-year-old's father. What are you going to do? In the next couple weeks, you're going to be on the street with them babies again.
No, I have a place to live on the first.
I told you to get a job, get a life, come back and get your kids. I haven't had a minute's peace to myself since you left the house.
But when I did leave, who was the one said, as long as you go on the show, you can stay here again?
That's right, because you need help. I said maybe Rolonda can direct you in the right way and get some help and listen to somebody, because you sure as heck ain't listening to me or anybody else.
This is another psychologist who's, come on, social worker, I'm sorry, social worker. Introduce yourself to the group and tell them, well, just say whatever you wanted to say.
My name is Doreen Davis, and I just wanted to say that Christine is sitting there, she's not saying a thing. So she appears to be one of those people that she's not only sitting on a lot right now, but makes a habit of sitting on a lot. Okay, and what she may be doing, she's sitting on all these emotions and all these feelings, and they may really be debilitating her. So what you may be feeling is laziness. You may have a real depressed individual in your household who needs someone to really reach out to her, take her out of that household, and give her someone to sit and talk to. Okay, if you have to work, if it seems too much for you at this moment with the other responsibilities, Christine is really screaming for help. Yeah. Because she's a young woman, and to be laying in the bed during the day and to let her children just kind of fall to the wayside.
Screaming for help.
And she's screaming for help.
Christine, if I were to help you find some help in your area, I mean somebody. You know, what the beautiful thing about therapy is, it's like taking a telescope and turning it into your own soul. It's breaking down to understand who you are and why we do the things that we do. Because, you know, all of us have had a rough life. It's one way or another. But it's important to understand how those rough spots in our lives have affected us so that we can move on beyond those rough spots. We have to learn how to deal with the crap in life, because crap helps gardens grow, baby. Remember that. All right? So if you need some, think about it, because we got to take a quick break here. But think about it. If you want someone in your area who will sit with you once a week, twice a week, anytime you want, a phone number to keep in your back pocket when you need them, to sit down and understand how to be a better mother, how to be a better person, I will help you with that. But you've got to want it bad enough. You think about it, and we'll check back in. Let me take a break. We'll be right back. I really mean that. We're about to say goodbye. I think one of the things that all of us learn as we learn how to grow up and love ourselves is that we can't love anybody else really, truly, until we learn how to love ourselves. And even the stuff we don't like about ourselves, it's part of us, and you got to love that too. But sometimes it's important that we understand where that stuff comes from. I think in your situation, you got a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of stuff. Sometimes they say, why do your parents push your buttons? Because they put them there. They know how to do it. You know, so there's a lot of stuff you have to go back through. I hope that you two families will take me up on my offer. I seriously know that therapy can help. I know it can break down walls that seem like they're never going to come down. But what is most important is you really have to want to do it, and you really have to stick with it. Christine, are you willing to do that?
Yes, because I know I need help.
Yeah. You're surrounded by people who love you. You really are. And will you guys, are you willing to at least continue? Because I'm not going to give up on you. Y'all don't have to make up kids here. But I don't want you to stop the process because it took you a lot of guts to get here to begin with. Would you continue that in your own area when you go back home in Ohio? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll work with you. And I know that it's our professionals here. We'll talk with you after the show. Don't give up. Don't give up. If you're going to fight, let it be worth something fighting for. All right?
Most definitely.
You give us all hope, whether you know it or not.
There is hope.
There is always hope. We'll see you next time.